And we are on. I want everyone to have a happy Memorial Day. I just think that we should remember our Memorial Day people. So remember Memorial Day. It isn't the live veterans that we're remembering. It's the past veterans that we're remembering. And we need to remember that it was because of these brave veterans that gave all that we have the freedoms that we do. And we will not forget here in the Squatch Zone. I just want you all to know that. Okay. So the next thing I want to do what the heck? Hey, so I want to welcome everybody. Hi, Connie. Hi, Jesse. I know that I'm coming on late, but only I kind of put together something I thought would be cool. It's kind of like all the past, some of the past Memorial Day campouts that we did. And I put together a little picture thing, and I thought it would be kind of cool, to go back and remember some of the Bigfoot trips that we did on Memorial Day. Since I'm not making it out to the annual Memorial Day weekend, I know Jeff and a couple other people are. There's a few of us that aren't, and I'm kind of, I'm going to miss it. No, I'm not cold. Actually, it feels really good in here. Actually perfect. Last week I was sweating. It was 90 and I didn't have a fan on me and it was getting pretty uncomfortable. But tonight it's pretty good. Hi, Amanda. How are ya? And I'm going to go back and forth. Like right now I'm looking at chat. I'm not sure if I can split the screen or not. Maybe I can. Let me see. I heard I could put chat on the thing, but I'm not sure if I can or not. So let's see here. I can split the screen. Only this one doesn't want to play ball. Let me see. Oh, no way. I didn't just do that. I can't believe it. Fooling around, man. Fooling around and just screw up all over the place, right? Am I right? Oh. No. Crazy. It says I'm still streaming, though. I'm not sure if I really am or not. Oh, my goodness. That was terrible. Okay, so I'm back. I accidentally closed the browser with the YouTube going. So I don't know what happened, except for that I did it, trying to make a split screen, which I did do, was make a split screen. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do was, before I even get started, after we remember all the brave men and women that gave their lives for our freedom to talk about whatever we want to talk about, go and live wherever we want to live in this great country, do a lot of things that you can't do in any other country, we have the freedom to do here. And I know that there is like a certain faction that's trying to take that from us, but they're not going to win. We're winning. We're winning. So just remember, it's not free. Freedom isn't free. And we should always remember that. And we should always vote like that. Like, vote to keep our freedoms. Don't vote people in that are trying to get rid of our freedoms. All right. So, the thing I wanted to do is I got some stuff wrong about when I was talking about Thule. And I actually got the information. Jeff told me that, that Christine was going to try to prove us wrong, that Bigfoot wasn't there. That really wasn't the case. Really, she wanted to say that Bigfoot couldn't be recorded, but we did record him. So, so Bigfoot was recorded, and I apologize that I got that wrong. I should have checked with her to make sure that that was the facts, but, Jeff says he never lies. Okay. So that's what he told me. I believed him. Most time he doesn't fib or anything, but on that one, I was wrong. So I do the right thing. I apologize. And hi, Winter. How are you tonight? But I wanted to show the first time I ever went to Thule, and you guys, I looked terrible, okay? Absolutely terrible. I was in pain, a lot of pain, didn't sleep very good, but I'm with my family and some friends that went with us the very, very first time that we camped at Thule, and I wanted you to see this, okay? So this is the picture, and it's inside the casino. As you go into the casino, and I'm behind one of my nieces, and my nephew Joe is over on the left, and I have some friends with us, and his, I guess, stepdaughters, which so that we went camping with them. I was gonna show a really cool shirt that they gave me of their grandpa that passed away, and that I keep in a drawer. But I decided, I'll just show a picture. Don't look at me too long, because I'll break your monitor and stuff like that, because I look absolutely terrible. Everybody else looks good, but man, I was having a rough camp out. Okay. So the next shot is actually one of our Memorial Day trips to the spot. Now, this isn't the first one, but I don't know, it's probably the second or third year in. And this is the crowd that was there that time. And every time we went, things happened, right? Every single time. So and the reason is because the gate was closed all winter, and then we would get there as the gate was being opened, and we'd be the first people down in there, and it's a spot nobody hardly goes to anyways, because it's so far off the beaten path that not a lot of people go in there. So I think that's why the Bigfoot decide that they're going to live there. And that's like the first that's like, I think, the second or third year that we went in there, or the third year, I'm thinking. So like 2012 or 2013, I think, 2013. And then we have, I'm not sure what this year's. I just picked a few out. I didn't want to show every single year. I just picked a few. And this one, I can't read what it says because it's too small. I think it's 2014, I think. So it would be the next year. That, group shot, that was all the people that went for that year to the spot. And it was great, had Bigfoot howling at us and roaring at us and doing all these fun, cool things. And I think that one's a pretty cool shot. Okay, and then we have 2017. This is the 2017 crew. This is the year, last year, when Jeffrey got slapped in the head by Bigfoot. So, and it was interesting. The Bigfoot walked right through the camp, slapped Jeff in the head. There was all that kinds of activity. It was throwing things at our tent. I mean, it was really like fun, right? That was like a fun one. And then I have, I'm not sure. I think I did that one. Let me see here. This is on, I don't know. I think this is like 2013 or 2014, and it's not a group shot, but we were like just panning for the cameras, and we have the big parabolic that was made out of a salad bowl and a microphone right there above my head in the picture. And we were just like playing around, like we were acting like we were hearing something, even though there wasn't anything at that moment. We were just like playing it up for the camera, and I thought it was a funny little picture. So I thought I would like show that. And now this next one, hey Adolf and Ghost Wolf and Tom, how are you guys? You guys are getting ready to have a great weekend, I hope. I know I am. I'm going to have a really good weekend. Okay, now this next one is some things that if you see these in the woods, you know that you're in a Bigfoot area because the trees are all marked with X's, right? And in the spot where we go on Memorial Day, and the one I didn't go to this year, but at the spot that we usually go to every year, this is the kind of thing that you find all over the place in there, besides the destruction, right? There's trees knocked down. It's the only place in the forest I've ever been where there is so much tree destruction and marks, like blinds made, big things, knocked over and stuff like that. And then sometimes Bigfoot leaves a gift, and it took 5 people to get the gift out of the road, right? So the Bigfoot left us a gift, and this gift was like the size of a telephone pole, right? And it took 5 of us to get it off the road. I know you can't see it very well, but right next to it, you can see where the log was. Okay, you could actually see the imprint to the right where the log was sitting, and it had been sitting there for 3 or 4 years. And then all of a sudden, we're coming back in and to retrieve a truck, and then there it is on the top of the center of the road. And you know how dirt roads are, okay? Like there's the center of the dirt road is the high point of the road. So the sides are lower than the center of the road. Okay, now you can tell that was not rolled up to the top of that high center part of the road. It wasn't dragged up there. Whatever, and we all know what did it, but whatever took that from that resting spot right there on the right where you can see where it was sitting, and then placed it on top of that road on the high point, and it didn't even break the little bitty branches. Now, when 5 of us, it took 5 of us to get that off the road because it had these little branches on it that wouldn't let it roll. So it took 5 of us to push that off back to the place where it was originally sitting. And that right there really made me respect. Like, I've seen them, so I know how big and buff and everything they are, and huge, and all that. But it gave like size and strength and everything a whole different meaning when it puts a telephone pole, sets it from where it was sitting up to the top of the center of the road without leaving a drag mark, without leaving a track even. It moved that log. And you can't tell me that somebody did that. If somebody did that, there would be all kinds of drag marks and tear up on the road, like how when I should have took a picture afterwards after we moved it to show how much we tore that road up getting that out of the road. But that one, it was about 13 inches in diameter and about 15 feet long. That one right there. And I have no idea how much it weighs. All I know is it was a heavy one, and it was awkward because there was little branches, that little stubs of branches that was keeping it from rolling. So we were mostly like just kind of grinding it off of the road, just, pushing it and working it off the road. Hey Vince, how's it going, man? How you doing? I'm gonna turn my headphones down. I got them up too high. I hope I'm not blasting everybody out. If my headphones are blasting, then I'm blasting people. Okay, so I think that's about it. And I did that really quick. Now I also have my phone set up, and I think this is the number. Okay, so that I'm also putting up the phone number, and in case you guys want to call in and tell your story, or you have a Memorial Day story, a Bigfoot story, or a UFO story, or a ghost story, or whatever. But I wanted to come on and just like kick off the Memorial Day weekend for everyone. Share a little bit of the past Memorial Days that we've done, and just chat with you guys and chill and stuff like that. And I didn't mean to be on late. Last time my wife, like last time I was on, I came on at 9, about, I guess like I came on almost the same time tonight. And my wife like wanted me to shut down early because usually like by the time, if I go too long, like sometimes I go like 3 hours, and I have to pack all this stuff up and put it away, and then I take the computer and I put it in our bed in the room that we're in, the motel room, and some like the keyboard and some stuff I take in there, right? So I'm banging around and I'm doing all this stuff, and she said she didn't want me banging around 2 or 3 in the morning. Well, last time, even though she shut me down early, I was still banging around at 2 or 3 in the morning. It made her mad, She goes, I even shut you down early and you were still banging around at 2 in the morning. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to. So how is y'all doing on your 12:30? You're on the East Coast, huh? Sorry about that, man. But I figured Friday it wouldn't be, the beginning of a 3-day weekend. I didn't think I would like kill anyone, by coming on too late. No, they didn't finish the rug, but only I expect him here tomorrow and put the rug in, either tomorrow or Sunday. He said he's going to get it by this weekend, and then we can move out of the motel room into here, and then I'll set up in that room that we're in now. I'll set all this up and never have to take it down ever again. I'll be so happy about that. I actually think you mess your stuff up doing that, unplugging it and plugging it, unplugging it and plugging it and stuff. I don't think it's good for it. I'm usually up all night too, Well, that's cool, Vince. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, well, I'm not like real regular with the shows because I have to hook everything up, and then, put it all together, make sure everything's all good. Like it took me about an hour to put all those pictures together because I have to put the audio where I can talk over them or put my little picture in there, or, all that. And it takes time to set it all up, even though it was only 8 pictures. That's all, just 8. I haven't figured out how to do it any easier than that. And if I had everything hooked up, see, I could work on it all day long or a little bit here and there during the day and stuff like that. And then I could just come in and turn it on and go for it, and it would all be all ready. But since I have to set everything up and plug it in and turn it on, and then I get time to work on it. And so I would have been on probably about 7:30 if it wasn't for I wanted to share pictures and stuff. Yeah. I have some Fiber One. It makes me pretty regular, but not regular on the air. Oh, I am so looking forward to this weekend, man. The carpet guy's coming in. Everything's going according to plan. It took a long time, but man, it's getting so close. I'm so excited. You guys can't even believe how excited. Yeah, so has any of you guys been out squatching or camping or anything? I mean, I know this is it. Or is any of you out camping right now and just sitting on your phone, chatting and chat? Because, man, I know a lot of people are out. This is like the beginning of the season, and I mean, I'm kind of like sad that I'm just home, but only I'm not sad because everything's coming together. But I know a lot of people are out tonight and out and about and squatching or fishing or just camping with their family, a little bit of vacation, maybe going to the beach or whatever. And I'm envious, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it, Yeah, Ghost Wolf's gonna be gone. You're going to a cool place too. Really fun place. Quite a drive though from where you are. Quite a drive. Night owls. Yeah, I'm a night owl all the time. Pain keeps you awake, Pain's a weird thing, like in the daytime, you feel pain, only there's enough things distracting you that it doesn't get to you as bad because you can distract yourself with things, you know what I mean? But then when night falls and everybody goes to bed and you're sitting there all by yourself and there's nothing to distract you, that's when your mind starts thinking of the pain. All of a sudden the pain becomes the thing that is the foremost on your mind, and man, it really sucks. I hate nights because of that. Yeah, it's hard to ignore at night, really hard. And then if you get in bed, like I'll go in and try to sleep, and then I become annoying to my wife. She's like, "Stop moving around." All I'm trying to do is find a comfortable position, which there isn't one. But and then I'm just laying there staring at the ceiling, going, "Oh man, this really sucks." I'm gonna get up, and then there's really nowhere to get up and go to do. And you get tired after in the middle of the night. Facebook's pretty dead, you know what I mean? Like even that's not even good. Can't play the TV because it's in my room and it wakes her up. I even put headphones in on the TV so that the sound doesn't get her, but then it's too bright, I can't have the TV because it's too bright. It's like, man, work with me a little bit. Like soon I'll be able to go in the living room and watch TV, but everything's piled up in there right now, a desk and boxes and everything that usually is in here, dressers, all that stuff. It's all in, so it's my TV's like blocked. So I can't use my living room at the moment. Soon. Try to size off. It keeps my mind occupied. Size off. Not so sure. Oh, no dose. Yeah. Man, I guess there wasn't enough people out there, Adolf. That's kind of bad. I wonder if anything's going on, man. Usually Shaver's a pretty active Bigfoot place if you know what you're, you know, if you know what to listen for and stuff. Even in the daytime, they're in the trees. That's what everybody tells me, like when I go to Shaver, they're in the trees. And I don't mean inside the tree, like inside the tree. They're up in the trees. And they even jump from tree to tree to tree, like getting away from people. They jump tree to tree to tree. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Jesus, how's it going? I should be on the Memorial Day trip. I should, but only I got the carpet guy coming and he's gonna carpet the room. It's actually my landlord's ex-husband. He's a carpet layer. So he's gonna come in and he's gonna put carpet, and we're gonna have I think not new padding, but we'll have, I think, new carpet. I hope. It might be used. I don't know. Hopefully it's good, whatever it is. And then I'll have my room where I can hook everything up and set up and just come in and turn it on. Then you guys will be like, oh my God, is he on again? Like he was just on 5 minutes ago. No. Like tell him to stop, take a break, like break time. Yeah, in the daytime, look in the trees, Adolf. Look in the trees when you're up there. Yeah, I want a dark color so it doesn't, like a brown. I don't want it to show the dirt, because like we've been living here like 15 years, and the carpet was darker, but only it really wore out. Like after, I guess carpet's not made to last like that long, so I mean, it wore out after 15 years. And then little animals that we have around here that I would get rid of, in a heartbeat. I would get rid of them. But only my mother and my wife, like, no, you can't do that. Like, I like fish and worms, okay? Like fish, they're in a tank. They don't get noisy. They don't bark. They don't bite anyone. They don't make any noise at all, and they don't pee on the carpet or anything. You know what I mean? They just stay in the tank and they do whatever in there. And then worms, they stay outside in a bin. They don't bark. They don't bite. They don't make any noise at all. They eat all the garbage that I can throw at them, and all kinds of horse poop and everything. I mean, they just munch everything up, and then they make stuff I could put in the garden. But those other little four-legged critters, I love animals and they love me too, but only I'm done. I raised a bunch of kids and a bunch of, horses and goats and geese and dogs and cats and stuff like that. I'm kind of wanting to retire from, the ducks and the geese and the goats and the dogs and all that stuff. I just want to take care of stuff that takes care of their self, pretty much. Like fish, I go like that with the food, and then I'm done. Every month I clean the filter out and I add a little water change, and I'm good to go for a whole month. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing fish tanks actually since I was about 12 years old. I used to breed. I had about 12 or 15 10-gallon tanks all stacked up on wire metal things that I had made all up and down, and I would live breed live birth fish like guppies and mollies and stuff like that. And so I've been doing fish for a long time, and it's so easy, you know what I mean? Really easy, way easy. And worms, I've been doing those for about 20 years too, and I love the earthworm thing. In fact, I'm really seriously thinking about starting a YouTube channel and a Patreon account for the worms, so that I can share my knowledge of the worm farming. Yeah, live bearing fish, the like guppies and mollies and stuff like that. And the fish store would tell me like, we want certain colors. So then I would put the males are the ones with the colors, and the females don't normally have too much color. So I would put the males with those colors with the females, and then when they were ready to give birth, I would put them in their little box, and the babies would start popping out and then fall down into the main tank. If you did not do that, the mother would run around and eat all the babies up. You know, they are ferocious. Fish are ferocious. If it can fit in their mouth, they'll eat it. You know, it's kind of a trip. Yeah, man, you've been going out to Avocado Lake? Man, you could go Avocado Lake all the way to Reedley. You could sit, what's that little park, Chipmunk Park or whatever it is over there by if you stay on this side where the mobile home park is, like you go across the bridge, turn right, and then there's a mobile home park. But if you don't turn right, there's a little park and there's a church across the street. If you turn in that little park right there, um, there's a lot of activity right there in the orchard. They're ripping the orchard out too. I'm not sure if they're going to build houses in there or if they're going to plant more trees, but down there along that area, there's a big wild area, and the Bigfoot could hang out all day long and then come out at night, and they go in the houses right there, and they go through the garbage, they run through people's backyards, they run across the tops of their houses even. We got lots of reports of that over there in Reedley. You know, the I heard that Avocado Lake, they mowed everything down. So they're in the day, there's no cover for them to hide in, but that doesn't mean they don't come swimming up in the night, or using the river and come up and use that highway. I'm positive that they still go in there at night. Not so much maybe in the day, but at night I'm sure they do, looking in the garbage and looking to see what people left, food wise. Yeah, I guess like growing trees would be like watching the grass grow too. I guess that would be pretty fun, huh? You know? Man, you guys go out to Avocado Lake, I might meet you out there. That's only like 20 minutes for me, 20, 30 minutes. That would be kind of fun. Oh, you did 70 guppies, huh? Wow. That their guppies are fun to watch, like when they do their little breeding thing. They do the little ritual, mating ritual or whatever, and then the males fight and fight and fight for the females. Kind of fun to watch. So when you go out there, where do you go out there when you go to Avocado Lake? Hey, fire dude, what's happening, brother? Oh, you have an IR light? They could see the IR, you know that, right? They could see the IR. guys getting ready to have a big Memorial Day barbecue and stuff like that? I think I'm gonna barbecue tomorrow. I think tomorrow or Sunday should be really a good weekend. I feel it. It's gonna be a good weekend. I was actually like, at first I was kind of bummed that I didn't go on the Memorial Day trip out to the spot, but then I was looking at the weather, and the weather is freakishly looking like what it was like that time that we got where we got stuck and it snowed and we got stuck, and the Bigfoot put his face print on the window. The one we did the show on, actually finding Bigfoot. I talked about it, and also Monsters and Mysteries where we shared the windows. But the weather was reminding me on I was thinking, man, maybe it was a good idea I didn't go, because man, when you're in a really far remote place and it snows and stuff like that, you can get stuck. Back then I was even more healthier than I am now, and I mean now I have to carry the little, pills to put under my tongue if I have a heart attack and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of times there's no cell service in there, so man, if you have a heart attack or getting close to dying, it's not a good place to get stuck and have problems. Man, that's cool, man. Behind Avocado Lake, huh? Like over by those ponds, where the ponds are? Is that what you're talking about? Well, I'll let you know, Winter, okay? I'll let you know if I do. If you guys come, it's only going to be hot dogs, because I can't afford to feed everybody good meat if there's more than just two of us. Yep. A frozen burger, that's what we'll have. Man, try do you guys have any good recording, like audio recording stuff? Whistle. Go out there and just, whistle, like stuff like that. Just do regular whistles that no other bird does. You know what I mean? Like regular whistles, and the Bigfoot can't handle it. They will whistle back. They'll start whistling back. I mean, you might even be able to do it with your phone, like put a recording thing on it and just set the phone a ways over there, and then go away from the phone so that you're not like talking over everything. One of the problems that some of the things we did, mistakes we made, we didn't get far enough away. Oh, in the lemons. Are you on the mountainside going up the hill where all the lemons are? Is that what you're talking about? I know right where you're talking about. That's exactly that is exactly where we've went out there, and that's exactly the place. It overlooks Avocado Lake. There's actually oranges and tangerines all down the street on the east side of Avocado Lake. Real active, a real good place for them to hide too. Oh, not the farmer's ranch. Well, actually, on both sides of the river is citrus. I mean, like there's oranges and tangerines and lemons, and I don't think they're in there to eat the tangerines or the citrus. I think they will if it's available, but they're in there like all the time, even when there's no fruit on the trees. I think they're using it for cover because they don't lose the leaves. So like be really careful in there. They can hide right inside of the leaves of the tree, and I mean they could grab you as you walk by. I mean, like really be careful. There's like 5 of them around there, and one of them is 15 feet tall. I mean, I never seen it. I'm only reporting. I'm only saying what I've heard, and I've heard it from like 4 people that live around there that've seen this big, huge one, and nobody knew how tall it was. They just knew it was really tall, right? Really tall. Where we found out it was 15 or 14 feet tall, it was standing by a pine tree. And when the guy saw it, and his friend's like, "Oh my God, there's something behind the pine tree," and he flashes light up like that to the pine tree. And the Bigfoot was holding the pine tree down like this and looking over it like that at them. And as soon as they flashed a light on him, he let go of the top of the tree, and it went, and he took 2 steps backwards, and he was gone. And then we measured the tree, right? Because he was like almost exactly the same height at the tree. It was 14 feet. And he wasn't standing on anything. He was standing behind the tree. So that thing was 14 feet tall right there. And then they said there's one that's retarded, right? It has big looking feet. Like for the size of it, it's only like 5.5 feet tall, but its feet are extra large. I mean, this is reported from several people, and a couple of the people seen it more than once, and they're really afraid of that one the most because it does things like blah blah blah, and like is weirding out and freaking them out, and isn't afraid of them. I mean, they said it acts retarded. So, yeah, be really, really careful out there, man. Be careful. Really be careful. Yeah, the retarded one is, from what I understand, it even looks retarded. They said that the face looks like, oh man, Down syndrome. They they said it looks like the Bigfoot has Down syndrome. I was like, what? Like I never heard that before ever, and but I heard it about 3 times, and in like not from the same people, and they don't even know each other. This is like in a 6 or 8 square mile area, so like they're neighbors, but only like 5 miles away. I mean, you don't know your neighbors 5 miles away. You know what I mean? And over like 3 years, like over 3 years. So like we get a report and go out there, and every time we got a report, and we're driving out there, me and Jeff would be looking at each other like, oh my God, not again out here again. Oh man. So, uh, and then like Bigfoot Joe, he was reporting the same 5, and he's the one that saw it behind the tree that we measured. um, he's the one that was saying that they were messing with his dog. Okay, and he thinks they're demons. This dude actually, um, he actually became a Christian because of these things messing with him so bad. I mean, they were messing with him. They were slapping his house. They were throwing things at him. He's seen the retarded one a whole bunch of times. It messed with him. It would get in front of his gate and everything. I mean, like, that. What's weird is like 6 miles away, they're talking about this retarded one, and describing exactly what Bigfoot Joe's describing. And then we went out in the orchard, the orange orchard, and we actually found the tracks to it and casted them. And it was like February, and we were finding the barefoot tracks running around in this. I think it was tangerines, and this is like 5 miles away or 6 miles away from Avocado Lake. So I mean, they get around at night. You know what I mean? But he was saying that he would be sitting out there. He had a little fire pit built, and they would mess with his dog. All of a sudden, his dog would fall over and be stiff, and just be stiff and looking at him, And he said his eyes would look at him, and then it would look over to where the Bigfoot were, and then he would look at him, but it couldn't bark, it couldn't move, it couldn't do anything. And he started realizing that they were doing that to his dog. And he would start yelling at him, "Leave my dog alone," and he would grab the dog and take it in the house. And as soon as he would break the spell or whatever it is these Bigfoot were putting on his dog, and he said the final straw was they were messing with him. They were throwing things. They were messing with the horses that he has, and he came home and pulled in the driveway, and there was his dog on the porch, laying on its side, all stiff like that, and looking at him, and he was saying, like, his eyes were saying, "Help me," and the dog was just all like, yeah, almost like that, almost like fainting goats, almost exactly like fainting goats. And it would be all stuck, only it wasn't fainted. It was like looking. See, and that's what Bigfoot Joe said, that he thinks they're demonic. He said they could like glow their eyes at will, and they would mess with them. Like he even could hear, like they would send voices into his head and talk to him, mind speak to him. And he actually got saved, and he calls them demons. He calls them out. And ever since now this is the weird part, okay? Ever since that he got saved and found Jesus, he got radical, with them using Jesus' name and stuff like that. And they don't bother him anymore at all. They did at first, but every time he would start using Jesus' name, he would send him packing. I mean, they did not mess with him. Now they don't even mess with him. And he doesn't go looking for him either. I mean, he already has a whole bunch of castings of footprints and stuff like that. He doesn't. He already did his research. He said he had enough of them, and then he said he doesn't mess with demons, because he actually believes they're demons, only because once once he got saved, he sent them away, and they went every single time. They would come back, but they couldn't come on his property. But then that's when they started messing with his dog, and then he lost it with that. Like, you don't mess with the dog, you don't mess with somebody's dog. And man, that's a trip. I agree, Vince. I agree. And like a long time ago, I used to think they were just flesh and blood and stuff like that. But then over the 20 something years now, they've done things around me that it makes you wonder, like they're doing things that are superhuman, they're like quantum, like quantum physics types things. The only thing that could explain what's going on is they can mess with time and space, and our reality and stuff, and they can move in and out dimensions and stuff. So it really made me think different about them. And then I read Ron Moorhead's book, and he made it a lot. I mean, he keeps it scientific, but he goes into the realm of quantum physics. And it's a really good book if you want to understand some things about Bigfoot that you don't understand. It's a good book to read, but it isn't a bad idea to have a little Jesus with you too, if you know what I mean. Night Winter. All right, James, I pray for you, man, for sure, brother. Wow, that's good, Adolf. I'm glad to hear he's doing good. I was kind of worried about him up there all by himself, man. I'm serious. Wow, man. I like you guys call it the spot. That's pretty cool. Cause it actually is. That's the spot, man. They closed that place for how many months? Like what, 5 months or something like that? And it was because of Bigfoot. It wasn't because of anything else. Man, sorry to hear that, James. Man, I will be praying for you. Sorry to hear you're sick, bro. I've been hearing a lot about people catching the flu and they're getting flu tests and stuff. I guess that's the time of the year right now, like fall and spring, right? Everybody gets all that stuff, like perfect breeding for the bacteria and stuff. Man, you guys got me wanting to go out there. I want to go out to the spot. Let's see what we got going here. Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I don't have much else, you guys. Sure, bro. You can you have my email, right? You could email me if you don't want to like tell it on a telephone. And let me see, I'll put my email. In fact, I want everybody to email me your stories and stuff, and I'll share all your stories if you're too shy to go on the phone. I still want to share your stories. I don't have any problem with that at all if you guys don't, and I would love to share the stories. No, I can't go. I can't go. Flash. The carpet guy's coming, so can't go with Jeff. I mean, I would have, but only I gotta stay here. My wife, if they get the carpet done by tomorrow night, my wife wants to be sleeping in here by tomorrow night. So at least move our bed in. You know what I mean? Like she's done with sleeping in the motel room, and I don't blame her. Plus, she was kind of worried that that's so far over there. She worries about me when I take off for 3 or 4 days at a time. So yeah, see, they can go in and out of the dimensions. I agree, killed by Bigfoot. Only that, like, which ones? Like, are the Xanu or something? Are they in our dimension, or is it the Tracons? I mean, I've been doing a lot of research on that. Oh well, I got my. Well, I only got like 7 minutes left on this one. Maybe we could do it on another night. Um, so hold that story, because I told my wife I would only stay on an hour this time, and I promised I would not go banging around at 2 a.m. this time, right? In fact, I told her I wasn't going to do this again until I could set up in the other room. But only I like hanging out with you guys. I mean, even if like everybody else thinks this is boring, what you guys are doing in chat is not boring. I mean, look at that. Like you just said, the thing sounded like a crazy chicken yell. Then you heard big shuffling on the opposite side of the orchard. I mean, dang, dude, that's so fun. I mean, that sounds like fun to me. Yeah, I have only heard one other female Bigfoot sighting that I know of, actually. And as soon as I get in that other room, I'm going to buy another microphone setup. And I'm going to, like, if you guys are local, you could even come in and sit with me, and we'll sit and tell stories and chat. I think that would be really fun. Maybe I could get like 2 microphone setups, and there could be like 3 of us sitting there and, shooting the Bigfoot stories and stuff like that, and the scary stories. And you could just come in, and we'll just sit there and have fun, man, and be chatting like in person, and then having our chat too. In fact, me and Ghost Wolf are talking about having a show where all we do is we're gonna take whatever's in chat questions, and then answer the questions. And I mean, he'll be where he is, and I'll be where I am, but we'll be taking questions, like any questions, a free for all, right? So the chat could be just asking us questions, and then we'll answer the questions the best of our knowledge. I'm never bored either, because I'm sitting with all my friends in chat. I think it's cool. But only I don't know how other people that listen to YouTube, like, I don't know what they expect or anything for, like, I'm not a TV show, or I'm not I'm just coming on and hanging out with my friends, basically, and talking about Bigfoot and UFOs, and telling stories that people share with me, and experiences and stuff like that. I'm not your usual YouTuber, I guess, but I have a lot of fun with it. And I think if the people listened and read the chat at the same time, that's what's cool, is the chat. When you go back and watch it later, the chat plays in live time, or like real time as the show is going. And if they listen and read the chat, they'll get a lot out of it, just almost as much as we are here. So it's cool. No, I actually killed by Bigfoot. I actually think that it isn't going to be long. I think we're in the end days, and when it talks about in the end days, it talks about the animals are going to lose their fear of man. Okay, like most animals, all animals pretty much have a fear of man, and they run from us. Bears, snakes, unless they have enough contact with humans to where they lose their fear like that. Most animals are afraid of humans, and they run. In the Bible, it talks about a day where they're gonna lose. Every animal is gonna lose the fear of humans. Can you imagine if the Bigfoots are part of that? Okay, like part of the ape thing in them is what has the fear in them of humans. So then, your own dog is going to turn on you. Your cats are going to turn on you. Every animal is going to turn on humans. Can you imagine if those things turn on humans? Like, oh my God. That's going to be a trip. Oh man, dude. Wow, maybe you could come in. You know what? I'll have to give you my regular phone number, my cell phone number, so you could call that, because it has the better signal, and we'll sit and chat about that, man. I want to hear about that. Jeez, man, that's a trip right there. Yeah, but only I'm about to go. I only got a minute and a half, and I gotta go. My wife's not gonna let me stay on tonight, man. I banged around too much last week. I woke her up, and then I turned the TV on, because I hooked my computer into the TV so that I could go and finish out the video and put the tags and all that stuff. And oh man, she had a fit. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, early for me. I mean, like, it wasn't even my bedtime yet, but it was her bedtime. And oh man, I disturbed her so bad. Oh boy. And did I hear it? That's another reason why I can't wait until I have my room. She could be in here sleeping, and I could be in there banging around, making all kinds of noise. I'll keep my mom up probably, but I won't be in the same room with her anyways. You know, I don't know. The ones that throw rocks at us, they're not invisible. They throw rocks, and they're actually visible and leaving tracks and stuff like that. Um, okay, there's my email. Um, if you email me, I'll send you my phone number, my private phone number, and all my information through the email because I don't want to send it over the chat or anything like that. Man, I tell you, Vince, if you're like me, like my dad was a hunter, and all his friends and reloaders, right? We reload for all the pistols. We reload for all the rifles that we had, 30-06, 30-30s, you name it. We had like 40 different calibers, of pistols and shotguns and all this stuff. By the time when I turned 5, I got my first 22 rifle, and it actually was an old rifle that was passed down from my grandfather to my father, and then he gave it to me for my first rifle when I was 5. When I was 12 and I was able to get a hunting license, I had a 6 millimeter or 6 mm. It's like a 2506 or you know, about that caliber like that, and reloaded for it and everything. Tracking, learned all that stuff. Been in the woods all my life. Never, and I had a lot of weird shit happen, right? And then when I turned 27, and I would laugh at people that said anything about Bigfoot because I've tracked bear. I mean, we shot bear. We went bear hunting every year, turkey hunting, pig hunting, deer hunting, rabbit hunting. The only thing we didn't go after was birds that much, but we did like sometimes go after quail and stuff like that. And we did squirrel hunting, and then we ate the squirrels too. Like a lot of people are like, ew, but gray squirrel is good, right? So I mean, we hunted everything all the time. That's what we did. Then I saw a Bigfoot. That was it, man. My whole relationship of what I thought was the woods and the wildlands and the wilderness and all that, how at ease I was and how I loved to be out there even by myself for a month at a time. And every once in a while I'd be out there so long I didn't even hear my voice, so I would go, "Hey, oh yeah, I could still, and I'd start talking to myself. Yep, I still have my voice. But after the Bigfoot sighting, that it was off. I am not relaxed in the woods at all, man. I am not. Man, love you, bro. Well, I'll get on. I'm gonna be tight for this weekend, but only after the weekend. Um, I'll get on Skype and I'll message you. All right. Now I need to read the chat here. I got off on a tangent. Man, dude, after I saw the Bigfoot the first time, 6 years, 6 years, I stayed out of the woods. I wouldn't even go in. And all my friends are like, hey, man, come on, let's go. I got my deer tags and 5 pig tags and a bear tag, like, I'll share the tags with you, and I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going. I seen a 12-foot tall monster freaking buff. I mean, I watched him for 2 hours at least. It could have been longer than 2 hours. He didn't know I was there. I was there before the sun came up, and he came happening on, right before the sun came up. He come happening over the hill. He did not know I was there. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. It changed my world forever. Serious. It did. You know what? That's the same thing as me. Like after I saw it, that was all I could think about was like, remember that time when I was 7 and I ran like the wind and there was no reason to run, but only I was scared shitless and I ran. Remember that time when we were fishing the creeks in the wilderness and some boulder splashed in the creek and we were like, wow, what was that? And so finally we just said it rolled in the creek and many, many more weird stuff, right? But never saw a track. Never saw a track. But then once I saw one, and then I got the balls to go back up there and start really looking, I started finding tracks because I started thinking, okay, it's doing what I'm doing. It's hunting deer. That's what I thought, man. It's hunting deer. So if I was hunting deer, and I was like apex predator and I lived in the woods, where would I go? And I started finding the sign and the tracks. And I tell you what, man, it changed my whole world. That's how I have the Squatch Zone thing, and I was hanging out with Jeffrey and everything. I I was obsessed with it, and since then, now I've seen ghosts and UFOs, and I've talked to people that had all kinds of encounters of different things, and I'm finding the world isn't what I thought it was. It isn't this. It's not like solid, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of shit happening. Hi Cy, how you doing, man? How's Ireland? Man, I heard they have some weather over there right now, man. I heard they having the weather. All right, good night, Adolf, my brother. We'll see you, man. Have a good weekend. Man, exactly, Vince. Exactly, like laying there and hearing things hit your tent, and you hear like 2 feet step. Like you you write it off as a deer before you know, though. But after then you know that it wasn't a deer with their hoofs hitting at the same time. Because that's what everybody would say. Oh, it's just the 4 feet. Two of them are hitting at the same time, and it sounds like 2 feet walking. Yeah, yeah. No way. Yeah, I heard of that side. Normally, I have pictures on here. I'll have to do a show on that and add that. But what happens is the bear will step into its front paw print and it makes it look like a long Bigfoot print. But the giveaway is the claws. Bears have long claws. So, like, that far away from the toes on the front and even in the back, when they walk, it'll get into the dirt, right? So that's how you tell the difference, because bear tracks always have claws, always, and their toes are like the same size, right? They don't have like a big great toe or whatever you want to call it, and a pinky toe. All their toes are pretty much the same, and then they're wide on the front part of the foot, and then their heel is really short and narrow. Now, when they step into it like that, it makes it look like a big long track, but it's not. It's a bear track, and how you tell the difference is the claws. There's be claw holes in the dirt, and also the toes will be uniformly sized. And on a Bigfoot, they're just like us. They have a big great toe, and then it goes on down to the little toe. And a lot of times it'll be straight across, like on the Bigfoot. And then there's been a lot of them that I've tracked that had only 4 toes. Like there was no big toe, right? Just 4 regular toes, but they're more straight across. And now the younger ones in this, or smaller ones, they almost look like a human footprint, like with an arch and everything. I've tracked those things so many times. And then like what Vince was talking about, like the woo thing, I've tracked, like I've been way in the wilderness, on these ridges, no trees, right? And following some tracks, and the tracks are always like one after the other, like straight across, almost exactly like they're walking a tightrope. That's how the other way you tell the other animals and humans, they're offset a little bit, right? But a Bigfoot one will be in line, like they're walking on a tightrope or something like that. But we followed this one for like 2 miles up the side of this ridge and then up onto the ridge. And then he was walking off into the wilderness, like miles and miles of no roads, okay, no trees, no anything out there, no camps, no trails, no humans, And then all of a sudden, the track stopped, and within 100 or 200 feet all the way around, there was nothing that it could have got on. You know what I'm saying? Like the track ended. I just followed it for 2 miles, and then all of a sudden, right there where in the middle of the wide open, it stopped. Like the last track was right there, and then that was it. There was no other track, and it creeped me out bad. Like, oh my God, I couldn't even get off that mountain fast enough because it scared the what out of me. Like, did it disappear? Did it get picked up by a UFO? Like, what the hell? Like, where did it go? Like, that freaked me out so bad. Oh my God, that freaked me out bad. Let's see. Do I want to do a show with BZ? Well, hell yeah. I'll do a show with you guys. Just say the day. Love it. We had DNA. Okay. We got DNA. And the first test that we did, sure, sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm hoping to be set up on Wednesday too. All right. Sounds good. Remind me though, okay? Remind me. The Patterson Gimlin film is the closest thing, besides if you go on YouTube and you type in oh man, I haven't looked at it in a long time. There's one Bigfoot. It's in Colorado, and it's an older one from like 2011. But that is exactly what I saw: body, shape, size. Okay, and it's totally black, just like the one I saw. Now on the Patty one, because it's female, it has big hips, like a woman, right? Big hips. The rest of it is proportional to what I saw, except for what I saw had narrow. It was like a perfect bodybuilder build and narrow hips, like a basketball player's legs, tall, 12 feet long, 12 feet tall, whatever. But the face right here was the only place that it had skin. All the rest of it was fur. Okay, so, and right around the eyes was the only place that it had skin, and everything else looked like a black lab. And man, I got it going over already. I mean, my wife came in 2 times already, but that right there, when I seen the Patterson Gimlin film, I knew that was real because of the face. It looks like from a distance, it looks like a diving mask. It's round, like rounded. The fur goes around like that, and it looks like a diving mask, or no, kind of like. And that's when I knew it was real, when I saw that. So if you ever see anything in the woods that looks like that from a distance, then you're seeing a real one, not no fake stuff. And it'll move so fluid. I mean, like nothing you ever saw, like a ninja. It moves, it glides. When it runs, its head doesn't go doot, doot, doot. I mean, it goes, it just freaking glides and fast. And it swings its arm. They swing their arms like almost over exaggerated. They swing their arms. And that was the other thing about the Patty Gimlin film. That one swings its arms, like when it walks, it's like almost like a little bit more like, I don't know what you call it, exaggerated, right? More exaggerated than a human, but that is how. And then when they get in the trees, when they get into the trees, they start grabbing the trees and they pull themselves through the trees like this. Even when they're running, they'll grab the trees and they'll be twisting the tops of the trees. So like when you're tracking them into the forest, don't look on the ground so much, like you won't see the tracks. Look higher up and you'll see where they grab the tops of little trees and stuff like that, and they twist them as they go by. They grab it and twist them, and they pull themselves like that, and they twist it like that, and they book through the trees doing that. Just some stuff that I learned over the 20-something, 30 years that I've been Bigfooting, that's how I track them. Like if I can't find tracks on the ground, I start looking in the trees, and they always grab the trees, and you can see, you could actually follow them right through the forest, especially if it's a thick woods, because they I don't know, they can't help it. They just do that, so you can follow them. Hey, Bolt Gun, how's it going, man? Man, thank you for tuning in, Cy. Man, great to see you again from way over there. I hope you don't get blown away by all the weather over there, man. I heard it's windy. Like maybe I'm 2 days late on that though. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like an hour and 17 minutes. I gotta go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the pictures. If you tuned in late, come back. Like let it process for a little bit, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Maybe not anything at all. I don't know. But only come back and check out the pictures that I shared. You'll enjoy that. I got some really good pictures. Man, thank you, Jesse and JG and Sword Point and Connie, all you guys, Bolt Gun, Fire Dude, you guys rock. I love you guys. I'm praying for all of you. James Davidson, you're especially in my prayers. You're sick, you say. In Jesus' name, I command the sickness to get out of your body. In Jesus' name, I command your body to be healed. In Jesus' name. So be healed, brother. That body will heal, and that's it. And I love you guys. Got y'all in my prayers. And always, always, always love you forever. You guys are the greatest, man. I love you so much. Okay, now I gotta go. Otherwise, I won't live another day to say another word. Man, good night, Vins. You guys rock. Just remember that. You guys rock. You guys are the best. I'm going to go out with a scene that we all should never forget, okay? We should never forget. Memorial Day is not about the soldiers that are alive. It's about the ones that gave it all. And if it wasn't for the brave men that gave it all, we wouldn't have our freedoms today. So I want you all to have a great Memorial Day weekend. And just remember that it wouldn't even be a Memorial Day free great weekend without those that sacrificed everything for us. So God bless everyone and good night. I love you all.